Okay, what exactly just happened? Verstappen and George Russell collided at the end of the Spanish Grand Prix race. Or rather, Verstappen collided with George Russell. This scene is not the only reason why many people are now asking the question, has Verstappen gone too far? First of all, we need to make one thing clear. Verstappen did it on purpose. The collision with George Russell was not just aggressive in a duel, no. Verstappen let Russell through and then drove completely into him in the corner. Presumably he was supposed to let Russell through, but the fact that he then pushed in so hard and really actively looked for contact with Russell was not an accident. It was poor intent. All the more reason to understand why George Russell is so upset about it. After the race in an interview, George Russell said, whenever anything is not going his way, he lashes out in unnecessary anger and borderline violence. And of course, one thing is clear. You can totally understand George Russell here. And before I come to Verstappen in general, one thing should be said. When you crash into someone with poor intent on a racetrack in a race, you've definitely gone too far. Definitely. But I have to say one thing. In a way, I'm also a fan of dirty driving. I know it's not all appropriate and I shouldn't be a fan of it, but I just like it when drivers lose their cool quickly. Just like it happened to Senna and especially like it happened to Schumacher more than often. I think this almost childish behavior is a result of their killer instinct. Verstappen is like Schumacher in this respect. He drives dirty in duels and he too is sometimes over the top and then does something like he did in Spain. To say it again, I'm not saying that Verstappen should get away with it or that I necessarily think what he did was good. No, the only thing I'm saying is that this is what has characterized many of the great drivers. Sure, there were respectful and nice drivers who became world champions, but there were also those killer types who weren't too shy to go too far at times. That doesn't always have to be a sign of a bad character. In a Formula 1 race, you are under incredible pressure and you have to decide what to do next in a matter of seconds, and yes, Verstappen loses his cool quickly. That's the way it is, and that's exactly why he crashed into George Russell. The only thing I would like to say is that this character trait of Verstappen is also one of the reasons why he is a 4-time world champion. But another issue here is that of course the race control can't let something like this slide. To be honest, I don't understand why there's only a 10-second penalty for this. In my opinion, there should clearly have been a drive-through penalty, and since the penalty was given too late for Verstappen to serve the penalty, in my opinion there should clearly have been 30 seconds for Verstappen. In addition to that, it has now been announced that Verstappen will receive 3 penalty points for the incident. And I have to say that I don't understand that either. A clear signal must be given that you are not allowed to do something like Verstappen did. We have seen that for accidents in which a driver was very careless and unnecessarily aggressive, he was given 3 penalty points. In my opinion, there should be more than 3 penalty points for an obviously intentional crash, as Verstappen did. As far as I'm concerned, maybe 4 or 5. Incidentally, that would also have banned Verstappen for the next race in Canada. Now he still has 1 penalty point buffer, and I think it's a matter of time before he gets his race ban. So my opinion is clear. Something like this must be penalized more severely. I meant that I have a bit of a soft spot for drivers who are sometimes dirty and go over the top, but that doesn't mean I want them to get away with it. To be honest, it's crazy for me that Verstappen still got 1 point in this race. As I said, the time penalty needs to be tougher, and in my opinion there should be more than 3 penalty points. I also want to make it very clear here, Verstappen was stupid. What he did in Spain was absolutely stupid. Of course I say that I like this kind of thing in a certain way, but the fact is that Verstappen made a clear mistake that cost him 11 points. I don't think he was really in a championship fight anyway, but now he's completely lost touch with the 2 McLaren drivers. What Verstappen did was stupid, just like it was stupid for Schumacher to crash into Villeneuve in 1997. Driving dirty is a strength, but going too far in that respect is a weakness. I just want to make that very clear here. I don't want to say that what Verstappen did was good or anything else. I just want to say that in a way I like to see that kind of weakness in drivers, because I'm the type of person who likes drivers like that rather than quiet guys who just win the races quietly and secretly. But the fact is, and I will repeat myself here, that what Verstappen did was stupid. But yeah, that's it for my video about the Verstappen and Russell incident. Feel free to write into the comments what you think about the whole thing. I am really interested to see your comments in such a controversial topic. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video.